tell you something, ladies. When a man loses access to you, the game changes. See, when you go no contact, when you stop chasing, stop texting, stop begging, that's when your power starts talking. And listen, I ain't talking about revenge. I'm talking about revelation. When you pull back, he starts to feel the void. That silence, that's loud. That's louder than any argument you ever had. Celebration. Silence is one of the most powerful tools you got in your toolbox. See, people think strength is in shouting, clapping back, proving a point. Nah. Sometimes the strongest move you can make is to say nothing at all. That's right. When you stop talking, stop texting, stop reaching out, you don't lose power, you gain it. Now, I know it's tough. You used to wake up thinking about him. You were the first to text, the one checking in, putting in the effort, doing the emotional labor. And let's be real. When things went cold, part of you wanted to chase, to fix, to make him see what he's losing. But here's the truth. If he had to lose you to realize your worth, he was never truly looking in the first place. And that's where silence comes in. When you go no contact, truly cut the line, no peeking on social media, no late night just checking in texts, something powerful happens. That man starts to feel your absence. And let me be clear, your absence hits way harder than your presence ever did when it was taken for granted. See, silence makes space. Space for reflection, space for realization, and most of all, space for respect. Because when you stop chasing, when you go quiet, you change the entire dynamic. Suddenly, it's not about you proving yourself. It's about him sitting in the void you used to fill and asking himself, what happened? And that question, that's where the shift begins. Because here's the thing, men are wired to notice patterns. You were always there. You answered the calls, you picked up the slack, you gave and gave even when you didn't get it back. So when you stop, when the pattern breaks, it forces him to notice. Not just notice that you're gone, but notice what he had and didn't appreciate. And it ain't just about making him miss you. No, it's deeper than that. Silence isn't about manipulation. It's about transformation. It's about creating the distance you need to heal, to reflect, and to rebuild your sense of self. Because while he's wondering why the call stopped, you're out here remembering who you are. You are not someone to be ignored. You are not someone to be half loved. And you sure as hell are not someone who should have to convince a man of your value. You are peace. You are strength. You are light. And sometimes the loudest way to say you lost something valuable is to disappear from the space where your energy once lit everything up. Look, I ain't say it as easy. Silence takes discipline. It takes strength. You'll have moments where you want to reach out, where the urge to explain yourself creeps in, but I need you to remember this. If he really wanted clarity, he would have come looking for it. If he really valued you, he wouldn't have waited for the silence to hit to recognize your worth. Let him sit in it. Let him wonder. Let him replay every moment in his mind trying to figure out what changed. Because you're not waiting around for a comeback story. You're writing a new chapter. And guess what? That's the part he won't expect. He won't expect the quiet storm. He won't expect you to vanish without drama. He won't expect you to choose your peace over his confusion. And that's why silence is so powerful. It's the move he never saw coming. So when you go silent, do it with strength. Do it with purpose. Not because you're playing games, but because you're done playing yourself. You deserve someone who hears you even when you're quiet, someone who notices your presence and never dares to take it for granted. Until then, let your silence be your boundary. Let it be your shield. And most of all, let it be your power. That's the right one. He won't need the silence to see your worth. He'll honor your presence from the start. After no contact, when you finally get the strength to pull away, the best move you can make isn't texting him, it ain't trying to get closure, and it definitely ain't sitting around wondering what he's thinking. No, the best move you can make, the one he'll never see coming, is leveling up in every area of your life. I'm talking about that full-on glow up. See, here's the deal. When you walk away from a situation where you were giving and giving but getting crumbs in return, that's not just heartbreak. That's an invitation to rise, to rediscover who you are outside of him, outside of the relationship, outside of the pain. And when you say, I'm done, and you really mean it, that's when your healing starts to cook. Now, I ain't talking about a surface level glow up. This ain't just about doing your hair different or posting cute selfies with deep quotes on Instagram, even though that's part of it, and I ain't mad at it. But I'm talking about the real glow up, the kind that starts from the inside out, the kind where you get up in the morning and you don't feel heavy anymore. You start smiling without forcing it. You start walking different, thinking different, living different, because now your energy's not wrapped up in worrying about why he didn't call or what he's doing or who he's with. That energy is back in your hands where it belongs. And you know what happens when a woman gets her energy back? She becomes unstoppable. You start hitting the gym, not for revenge, but for health. You start chasing those dreams you put on the shelf while you were busy trying to build someone else up. You go back to school, start that side hustle, read those books, take that trip, all those things you put off because your time and emotions were tied up in somebody who didn't know what to do with the gift that is you. That glow up is personal, it's spiritual, it's emotional. You stop begging for closure because you realize you don't need it. You stop checking your phone every 5 minutes hoping to see his name pop up. You stop waiting for him to come to his senses because you've come to yours. You realize that you were never the problem. You were just giving the best parts of yourself to someone who didn't know how to receive them. And when that clicks, that's when you elevate. Now, let me tell you what happens on his side. Oh, yeah, he notices. Don't get it twisted. He sees the change. Maybe not right away, maybe not in the way you expect, but believe me, he sees it. Men feel when the energy shifts. He starts feeling that space where you used to be, that good morning text that doesn't come, that support that's suddenly missing, that love that used to be on tap and now it's gone. But what messes him up? What really throws him off? It's not anger, it's not bitterness, it's the fact that you didn't just move on, you moved up. You didn't collapse, you didn't shrink, you didn't try to prove your worth to him one more time. Nah, you rose. He was expecting tears, he was expecting emotional messages, maybe even some drama. What he wasn't expecting was silence. And that silence being filled with success, confidence, and a woman who's reclaiming her life. That's why I tell women all the time, when a man fumbles you, don't spend your time showing him what he lost. Spend your time becoming someone who doesn't even think about being lost in the first place. Let him sit with the version of you in his memory while you become a woman he doesn't even recognize anymore. Because the new you is too elevated, too focused, too healed to even fit into the mess he left you in. There's a beauty in the rebuild. And it's not for him. It's not to post and hope he sees it. It's for you. And so you can look in the mirror and say, I did this. I pulled myself out of that heartbreak, and I came out stronger, wiser, finer, and more powerful than ever. And you know what? When you level up like that, you stop wanting the things that once broke you. That's the real glow up. When your standards rise. When you don't just want love, you want peace. You want partnership. You want someone who matches your growth, not someone who slows it down. So while he's sitting there wondering if he should reach out, if he'll still pick up, you're too busy living the life you almost forgot you deserved. You're surrounded by people who see your light. You're investing in yourself. You're healed. And not because he came back, but because you came back to you. That's the move he won't expect, and it's the move that changes everything. You can chase a man, or you can choose peace, but you can't have both. That's a decision every woman has to make at some point. And I know it ain't easy. When you've invested time, energy, love, when you've imagined forever with someone, walking away feels like you're giving up. But let me hit you with the truth. You're not giving up, you're letting go. There's a difference. See, when a man pulls back, when he goes cold, distant, inconsistent, you feel that shift. And your instinct, it kicks in hard. You want to fix it. You want to ask what's wrong, what changed, what you can do. You want to hold tighter, reach out more, prove your worth even harder. But here's the truth nobody tells you. Real love don't need chasing. A man who's meant for you will never put you in a position where you got to lose your peace just to keep his attention. Now listen, I ain't saying you don't fight for love. Love takes work, sure. But that ain't the same as begging to be seen, fighting just to be chosen. There's a difference between effort and struggle. And if love starts feeling like a battle, where you're the only one showing up every day, you're not in love. You're in survival mode. And that ain't a place where peace lives. Peace isn't just a feeling, it's a decision. It's you saying, I love you, but I'll love me more. It's saying, I care, but not at the cost of my sanity. Peace means choosing silence over chaos, self-worth over confusion, clarity over mixed signals. Because confusion, that ain't love. Silence, avoidance, emotional distance, those aren't signs of someone who values you. They're signs of someone who values their comfort more than your connection. And you got to stop making excuses for that. Stop thinking if you just hold on a little longer. If you just give a little more, he'll finally see your worth. Baby, your worth isn't a puzzle he needs to solve. It's a truth he should recognize the moment he sees you. And if he doesn't, that's his blind spot, not your burden. So let him go. Let him wonder where you went. Let him feel the absence of your effort, your loyalty, your love, not to punish him, but to protect your peace. Because peace is power. And when you finally get a taste of peace, real peace, you'll realize how loud your world was when you were chasing someone who didn't even know what to do with your heart. When you stop chasing, you create space. Space to breathe, space to think, space to feel again. Without that constant ache of wondering where you stand. And in that space, that's where healing lives. That's where you come back to life. You stop shrinking yourself to fit into someone else's indecision. You stop bending over backwards to make things work when they clearly aren't meant to. And here's the beauty in that. When you choose peace, you become magnetic. Not because you're trying to prove anything, but because peace is attractive. Confidence is attractive. A woman who knows her worth and doesn't compromise it for breadcrumbs, she stands out. She's unforgettable. And if he ever wakes up and realizes what he lost, good. Let him. But don't go back Don't abandon your peace just because someone finally realized they missed the chaos you used to live in. You've earned your calm. You've earned your clarity. Don't trade it for confusion. A man worth keeping won't disrupt your peace. He'll protect it. He'll match your energy. He'll show up consistently, communicate clearly, and make you feel safe, not anxious. He won't leave you guessing. He won't leave you hanging. Because men, real men, they know what they want. And if he wants you, you'll know it. Period. So stop chasing what doesn't chase you. Stop begging for what's not being offered. Stop fighting battles that leave you drained instead of loved. Choose peace. Protect it. Prioritize it. Because when you do that, you send a message to the universe, to every man out there, and to yourself. This is what I deserve, nothing less. That's the move. That's the shift. That's the game changer he didn't see coming. Now listen here. After all the silence, after the pain, after no contact, the biggest, baddest, boldest move you can make, the move he will never see coming, is making it all about you. Not about what he's thinking. Not about whether he's coming back. Not about trying to teach him a lesson. No. This chapter is about you. See, most people think no contact is a game, a tactic, like it's a way to punish him or make him miss you. But let me tell you something right now. If your goal is to make someone miss you, you're still living for their validation. You're still giving them the power. And the real glow up, the real comeback, the real move, it starts when you say, this time it's about me. This is your healing season. This is your transformation season. This is the part of the story where you stop chasing and start choosing yourself. And that move, that's the one he'll never expect. Because when he thinks of you, he's still imagining the version of you that needed answers, needed closure, needed him. But that version, she's gone. She walked out the moment you said enough. And what's in her place now? A woman who doesn't need to be seen to know her worth. A woman who doesn't need permission to be powerful. A woman who no longer waits for someone else to show up for her because she finally learned how to show up for herself. You've spent enough time pouring into someone who didn't pour back. Enough time waiting on calls that never came, texts that stayed on read, love that was conditional. But now, it's different. Now you wake up and your first thought is, how can I love me today? Not, what's she doing? Not, will he reach out? But your goals, your peace, your body, your mind, your money, your dream. And let's get this straight. This isn't about revenge. This isn't about trying to flex on him or make him regret losing you. No. This is about finally realizing you were never the one who needed fixing. You were just trying to be whole in a place that was breaking you. And now you're not just healing, you're evolving. You start doing things you used to put off. You take yourself out. You sit in quiet rooms and learn how to hear your own voice again. You rediscover your joy, not the joy that came from a man calling you baby or showing up after ghosting you for 2 days, but the real joy, the joy of living in your own purpose, the joy of laughing with your friends, the joy of walking in your truth, the joy. You start making plans that don't include anyone else's indecision. You stop checking your phone every 5 minutes and you start checking your goals, your boundaries, your values. You stop asking, why wasn't I enough for him? And you start asking, why did I settle for less than I deserve? That's growth, that's maturity, that's womanhood at its finest. And here's the part that'll really shake him. When he finally reaches out, and believe me, he will, you won't be waiting. You won't be bitter. You won't be angry. You'll be unavailable.